What is up? What's going on, Line to Gain family? Happy Sunday, April 25th. This is Line to Gain. I am Corey. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight as we get ever closer to the NFL draft coming in on Thursday. And we are doing a show on Thursday. I'll be in my full Bengals garb as we watch the first round together. So if you're sitting around the house, you want to join us, feel free. I'm not really going to have a whole, slew of things to talk about other than reacting to what's going on during the draft. So if you want to come and hang out and watch together, by all means, feel free to join. So anyways, thanks for joining us tonight. We got a pretty cool show. We're going to be going through not all, but I'd say about 5 different receivers that I would at least identify as the top wide receiver prospects in this 2021 NFL draft. And then we're going to be diving in a little bit. I mean, if you're a football nerd, you might like it. We're going to talk about like 8 different offensive linemen. Most of them, if not all of them, except for one, I think are tackles. So this, relevant to Lions fans, relevant obviously to Bengals fans. Looks like there's talks about both of those teams making additions to the offensive line in this upcoming draft. So pertinent information, and I find it pretty interesting. There's a lot of good resources out there, a lot of people that are a lot smarter than me doing these film breakdowns. So look to share that information. What a week, and we're about to get started. The weekends are obviously always too short, man. Always too short. But what do we, here we go. Starman Pale Ale, another Black Rocks brew. We did the 51K IPA a few weeks ago. Starman Pale Ale, Black Rocks Brewery in Marquette, Michigan. Cheers. Oh, that's a good one. I don't know if anybody out there that watches the show. Obviously, my parents and future in-laws watch from time to time. They're jumping in the chat right now. Hi, guys. But I don't know if anybody else, that tunes in, if you have kids or anything like that. But I had a moment today while I was preparing or cleaning up dinner or something. I have 2 little girls. They're twins. They're 2.5 years old, and they're eating, and I didn't know, like, when you have kids, that's when you realize how immature you are. Because I'm sitting there and they're sitting at the table being super good, eating their dinner, and they ask me, "Daddy, where is something?" Like, "Where's your drink, Daddy?" or "Where's your food, Daddy?" or something. I couldn't remember exactly what they were asking for. And in my head, I didn't say this to them, but in my head, I'm just like, "Up your butt and around the corner. That's where it is." I don't know where. I don't know what it is, but it takes you having kids to realize what are you doing? Why are you saying this to a 2-year-old? Obviously didn't say it, but man. Oh, it's the things in my brain sometimes, Anyway, some of you may have seen we created another event, the charity fundraiser for the Epilepsy Foundation. Was a really, really big success. I was really happy with what we were able to do there. So we're going to do something similar to that. Now, Bobby, who is part of the Line of Game family and runs the Solace streaming page, he had said something. I was in his chat on his stream, and he had mentioned something about doing a show on my birthday, because my birthday is on a Sunday of this year. And then I just realized that I'm going to be hurting that day because we're having a party the day before. It's my 30th. I'm probably not going to be feeling very good. Got people in town. And I don't want to half-ass the show, so I'm not going to. I'm going to do it the following week. So we won't have a show on May 16th, but that May 23rd, we will have a show, and we will be raising money for the Wounded Warrior Project. So that was a suggestion from our highest donor of the last fundraiser, Nick Covey, Nick and Brittany. They donated $300 to the Epilepsy Foundation. It was amazing. So they get to pick the charity for the next one. Yes, Kathy, I am going to be an old man. You know what? I'm not going to be an old man. I'm not scared of my 30s. Anybody already there? Just let me know how they are. I read something. I read something that says like a meme or something that popped up and it said, "Your 30s are like your 20s, but with money, as long as you don't have kids." And I already covered that a little bit ago, so I don't know what it's like really. We'll find out. Looking forward to it though. But anyway, so yeah, Nick and Brittany were doing the Wounded Warrior, May 23rd. And we did something cool last time where everybody got to, like, we did a live mock draft. I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, on Wednesday they're going to be releasing the actual schedule, when games are going to be played. We already know opponents for every team, what teams are going to be playing, but we don't know when. And so what I like to do, again, football nerd, if you're a football nerd, welcome home. We'll put our arms around you here at Line to Gain. What I like to do is kind of go through every schedule and predict what I think, at least, the final record will be. And typically it's 16 games. This year, obviously, 17 games. Predict what the final record will be. And then by that, you can get a division champ. Todd, Kathy, thank you for liking the stream. Welcome. By there, you can derive who the division champ is going to be, who the wild cards are going to be. You can get a playoff bracket going. Do a way too early prediction of how the season's going to go. So that's what I plan on doing for that fundraiser. And it should be a good time. It should be a good time. And during that, I hope you follow along at home. I hope you follow along and pick the schedule with us. Share it in the chat, or and I can share it with the on the page, and it could be a lot of fun. Maybe we get a little schedule pool going. I don't know. Throw in $20. See who gets the closest and divvy up the money at the end of the year. Anyway, so if you're following along at home, we got five pass catching prospects that we're going to dive into tonight. Two boys out of Alabama, Jalen Waddle, Devonta Smith, obviously Kyle Pitts. Notice I said pass catching prospects, not specifically wide receivers. I think in the description of the video, though, I did put wide receiver, but Kyle Pitts you can call him a wide receiver. It's fine. Jamar Chase, and then Rashad Bateman out of Minnesota. We're going to be jumping in to those guys. Interesting aspect of that, Jamar Chase and I think Rashad Bateman. I don't believe Rashad Bateman played last year. Jamar Chase didn't. He opted out. Kyle Pitts did. Devonta Smith did, obviously Heisman Trophy winner. And then Jalen Waddle didn't play, mostly due to injury, though. Wasn't really an opt-out. Wasn't due to anything like that. So just interesting looking through these through these guys while I was doing this, and just really learning how many of them actually opted out. So what I want to do is just kind of roll some of these YouTube highlight videos that that I've been able to kind of just cherry pick here. We're going to kind of jump into it, and we're just going to talk about them. So first on the list, Jalen Waddle. Let's talk a little bit about Jalen Waddle. I apologize. I don't have Prime or the top tier YouTube. So there, Jalen Waddle is catching the ball over the middle, just draped in traffic, and no one can touch him. Nobody can touch him. I believe this is from 2019, 2019, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, there were 4 Auburn defenders around him, and his top end speed is insane. Look at this one. Grabs him by the neck. Peace. Oh my gosh. So that's what you're getting. I mean, when you're getting Jalen Waddle, you're getting top end speed. I have heard more people than I'm comfortable with talking about Jalen Waddle and talking about him as a Tyreek Hill comp. But, at the same time, I'm watching all of these highlights of him, and it's really, really tough. I mean, Nothing. Absolutely no one can stay with him. Making Mac Jones look really, really, really easy. Or really, really, really good, right? Making his life really easy. Looks like is that Tua? Yeah. Again, just get him the ball. If you can hit him in stride, that was a good ball by Tua there, dropping it over the defenders. Here's Mac Jones again, deep ball, the deep threat. If you need someone that can stretch the field, Jalen Waddle. Obviously, there's a concern with the injury, but he's young, man. This guy is so young. Over the middle, right there. He does run a lot of routes out of the slot. So the slot being an interior position where you're hitched off the line a little bit. Here's another play from Tua. Deep ball. You can't even remotely come close. Now, if he would have stayed on his feet, that's a touchdown. But no one can hang with him. Here he is right there. He's coming over. Gets behind the linebackers. Safety comes down, and then he breaks it off. Gone. He's literally a highlight reel. I would even go as far to say that if Jalen Waddle stays healthy, Devontae Smith does not win the Heisman Trophy last year. That seems to be his thing, though, huh? Where he's popping at the end, where he's putting his hands on his hips. I want to see a little. I kind of want to see like a little like dink and dunk, because there's a lot of these big splash plays. But another really good thing about Jalen Waddle is just get him the ball in space, man. Here we go. Perfect. Just get him the ball in space. That's all you need to do, and let him go to work. That's how fast he is. There's nobody that can really keep. And you know what's interesting is he does play out of the slot, but that's not a knock. And he doesn't get pressed at the line as much, so he doesn't get a whole lot of jam. Like here, let's come back. Let's come back. I think this one might be a press coverage set. Let's come back on this one if you don't mind. We'll pause it right when they line up. See, even so, he's getting what is that, about a yard and a half of separation. I guess you could call that press, but watch what the corner does right off the jump. They're playing him zone. They're not even, yeah. Nobody can even hang with him from the jump at all. What, you got a linebacker on him? Yeah, good luck. Have fun with that one, guys. A lot of deep balls. But what would you do if you have this guy? But my point is that, and that's where you get the Tyreek Hill. But also, I mean, you can get him the ball on these little bubble screens, and as long as you've got a hat on a hat, to use a blocking term, Jalen Waddle's going to do work for you. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going to happen. Jumping back into the chat here to get some comments before we roll on to the next fella here. Who's going to be Devonta Smith, actually, his teammate. Comment from Travis. Travis, thank you for joining us tonight. Hope the family's doing well. Kadarius Toney doesn't have the top speed that Waddle does, but do you think he's more dynamic with the ball in his hands? And I got to see a lot of Kadarius Toney, being a Gators fan. I like him a lot. I think like a little shiftier, maybe. Maybe he's got more moves, but when it comes to just top end speed, I think it's Waddle. I think that's who I would go with just for a vertical threat. That's a tough one because I am biased though. Like, I'm gonna admit, watching Kadarius Toney, I am biased watching him be a playmaker in those like bubble screen, dink and dunk, kind of just throw it out to him and let him work in those situations. Which is what I think you're getting at there, Travis. Just get him the ball and let him go. Is Kadarius Toney, and maybe we should have talked about him a little bit tonight too. But these are the five that I identified. Maybe I should have just done six. You lazy bastard. But those are the guys that I identified as the top ones, and I still do think Kadarius Toney could be a first round draft pick. Probably will be. it's interesting when you look at like how much offensive talent is in this draft. We might go like 12 picks without getting a defensive player taken, which would be crazy. If you're joining us tonight, go ahead and drop a like on the video. If you could also share it, that'd be dope. If you're not following, please follow. Share the page. Do whatever you can. Grow the Line to Gain family and get everybody in here. Waddle had, I think it was an ankle injury, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to look that up right now because he did get time in the college playoff. Let's take a look right now. And Waddle injury. Yep, high ankle sprain and a fracture to his right ankle. So he broke his ankle. Which, if you're a shifty guy, that's not a good injury to have. But again, these guys are so young, and the medical attention that they're receiving is bar none. It's fantastic. I have no real reservations that that's going to affect his ability to do what he does best, which is just outrun everyone. So I'm confident that Jalen Waddle is good for this season. If I'm the Lions, to be honest with you, I'm drafting Jalen Waddle. That's who I'm drafting. If I'm the Lions, that's who I'm going to draft at 7. He's going to be there. I'm pretty confident. He's just so like. Where are you going to go with Rashad Perryman? Is that going to be your number 1 this year? Come on. Jalen Waddle or Rashad Bateman are who I would take if I'm the Lions. And we'll get to Rashad Bateman here a little bit later. Let's keep rolling. Let's get going with Devonta Smith here. Of course, a beautiful ad to start. Obviously, Heisman Trophy winner, 20-plus touchdowns. This guy is amazing. Whoa, look at the screen. You got Coreyception over here. It's pretty amazing. All right, Devonta Smith. Enjoy, because I mean, and I don't want to take anything away from him. He's still an excellent football player. He's going to have a great career in the NFL, I believe. The only thing is, I don't think he would have had the production that he would have had, or that he did have, if Jalen Waddle stays healthy. This is this year with Mac Jones. Nope. So just some notes about that make Devonta Smith a little bit different than Jalen Waddle. So he's a lot smaller, obviously, right? That's one thing that you can't stop getting away from when they're talking about Devonta Smith. They're talking about his size. Just look at him out there. He's about the same size, if not smaller than that corner that's on him. Great ability tracking the ball at the high point right here. Getting up, grabbing it, getting that left foot down just inside. Whew! And look at it, he bends the ankle back the other way. Kind of similar. Get him the ball in space. Let him run. Let's be very clear. Devonta Smith is fast as well. Let's be very clear about that. Great job coming underneath the route there. And that's the one thing that you're going to learn about Devonta Smith is that he is an excellent route runner. Devonta Smith and Jamar Chase are probably my 2 favorite route runners in this draft. It's what they do. It's what he does best. He's not big, so he can't really, just body people down the line of scrimmage. He gets open. So another thing, and let's see if we can see it. Let's see if we can see it in this route right here. I want to come back. One of the things that Devonta Smith does really well is establishes leverage early in the route. And what that means is getting himself to a point where, all right, so you got Devonta Smith lined up down here. He's got about 2 yards of separation between the defender. And I'm going to just keep pausing. So the defender's coming off right here, giving him even more space. Devonta Smith has this guy turned inside out already. And he's already coming in inside the field right here. Watch what he does. Oh, shoot, I got the wrong guy. My bad, guys. My bad. My bad. Let's watch. He's in the slot in this play. Let's watch what he does here. Boom. Gets this defender to bite down on the underneath route. And then breaks it off for a deep ball. Watch him again. See ya. Perfect. Perfect. So I don't want to just brush off the fact that he is small, because not only great job coming back to the ball on that one though. Not only is he small, I think he would be one of, if not the smallest receiver in the NFL, like pounds per inch. If you were to compare how much he weighs versus how many inches he is tall. Still, great job tracking the ball at the high point right there, going over and mossing, for you NFL fans, mossing the number 27. You got Moss. Homage to Randy Moss there, if you're wondering what the hell I'm talking about. And just absolutely torches this guy here. Obviously, Mississippi State isn't a blue chip school this year, but there's Jalen Waddle giving him daps on the sideline there, clapping it up from the cart. So another thing that him being small is, it means he faces a lot of man coverage, or a lot of press coverage rather. They're pressing him at the line, because that's one thing that you can do. Oftentimes these smaller receivers, what they'll do is they'll press these guys at the line, and it often works. It helps the smaller receiver, but not him. He has excellent releases at the start of his routes to help combat this. See if we can look at what he does on this one to get that leverage to the inside there. That was easy. Back it up again. Sorry. Oh, this is kind of just soft defense there. He's right here, if you're wondering. So he does. You can kind of see how he's headed out here. He's trying to protect that inside. Defender's doing a really good job of just standing straight up. And look at him. He's breaking it off like he's headed out. So that's what I mean when I'm talking about establishing leverage. Now he has this defender leaning this way all day. And then boom, breaks it off right inside. Easy. Look at that's just ridiculous, boys and girls. How well he broke that route off on the inside. I just want to watch it again because it illustrates exactly what I'm talking about. Boom, breaks it off right in there. Easy touchdown. Beautifully done. Absolutely beautifully done. Fantastic. So, Devontae Smith is good. I want to be very clear about that. He's good. But his size is a concern for me. Very much so. Jumping back to the comments here. Draft super deep at everything but defensive line and D tackle. I would agree. So if you need it, Josh Wheeler, thank you for liking the video, buddy. Welcome. We got a bunch of Fairfield South boys rolling in tonight. What's up, everybody? Draft super deep at everything but DL, defensive line, and D tackle. Yeah, I wouldn't even say it's super deep at edge rusher. There's no Chase Young in this draft, right? There's no Chase Young. There's not even really like an Ed Oliver. You know what I mean? There's not really those guys you're like, oh shit, we got to get this guy early. Like I said, we might not see a defensive player taken in the top 10. That might not happen. So, more comments here. One from Todd. He's an inch shorter and 10 pounds lighter than advertised. Devontae Smith plays smarter at wide receiver in terms of knowing the field than every other wide receiver in the draft. Exactly. 100%. I agree. He has to. He wouldn't have been that productive had he not been able to do that this year. I agree. 100%, Todd. Good comment there. Good point. His route running is, like I said, like Jamar Chase, him and Jamar Chase, like the reason that Jamar Chase is going to go 5 and not Devontae Smith is because Jamar Chase is stronger, bigger. I don't think he's faster. He might be about the same speed, minuscule differences in their speed, but he's stronger and he's faster, or stronger and he's bigger. So like their route running is very, very similar. It's very good. That their ability to high point the ball is fantastic. The things that they do to establish leverage at the high, throughout the route, the hand working that they can do throughout the route is almost the same. But Jamar Chase is just bigger and stronger. I think he did. What was his? Did he do 23 reps on his bench press? I can't remember. If anybody can, drop it in the chat. But the dude is strong, big man. We'll get to him. Don't worry. Don't worry. We'll get to him. Let's see. Anything else I would make on the comment here for Devontae? I like him. I think he's going to do well. I think that the NFL is also changing pretty radically. Like a lot of people gave Baker Mayfield a lot of crap about his height. I mean, the guy just won his first playoff game last year. There are a lot of people that can break the mold. I hope Devontae Smith is one of them. I hope he does well. I would grade him fifth out of these 5 that we're going to be talking about tonight. Again, we're going to be talking about we just talked about Jalen Waddle. We talked about Jalen Waddle. We just talked about Devontae Smith. We're about to get into Kyle Pitts, Jamar Chase, and Rashad Bateman out of Minnesota. So out of those 5, I would probably say Devontae would be 5th. Feel free to grade along at home. Share where you think the rest of these other characters are going to be going. The next individual that we're going to be talking about is going to be the one, the only Kyle Pitts. I mean, I was watching some tape, not just these highlights, but kind of like people smarter than me. I was watching them do breakdowns on these guys, and when I'm watching Kyle Pitts, it's ridiculous, man. This guy is just he's going to be a star. I would be okay if the Bengals drafted him. I'm very confident that they're going to take Jamar Chase just based on what I'm reading and all of these things. And I don't think Kyle Pitts will make it past the Falcons, to be honest with you, as well. I think he's going to go 4th overall to Atlanta, which is a good spot for him. But say something crazy happens and Atlanta takes a quarterback. I'd be okay if we took Kyle Pitts. So without further ado, let's watch some film on Kyle Pitts because it's fun. The first play we're going to get here is from the SEC championship game. Here he is. And look at that. I mean, it's a 2nd and 12. So, I mean, 7 yards. I guess they're kind of backed up. Basically, yeah, backed up like 7 yards or 6 yards or something like that of separation. Isn't that crazy? I mean, they're doing it all across the line here. Playing a little bit tighter down here, but just watch what he does. Just that break off. Oh, man. Look at him. 3 of them standing around. That was a big play, too, because Florida was on the verge of getting blown out right there. Here's a nice little breakdown. And it doesn't look like he's running that fast, but I swear he is. It doesn't look like he's moving very fast, but it's just because he's so freaking big. What a catch. I mean, that's good in the pros, obviously. Man. And look at that breakaway speed. This is supposed to be a tight end, ladies and gentlemen. 6'6", 245 pounds. high pointing the route, coming back. I mean, he's a matchup nightmare for everyone. Everyone. Linebackers, you're not fast enough for me. Go home. Corners, safeties, you're too small. Go home. Look at Kirby back there. That's not Kirby. Is it Kirby? I can't remember Georgia's coaches anymore. Didn't even look like he caught that ball. You're like, oh, they knocked it out. No, this guy's the best hands in the draft. It's not even close. He doesn't drop anything. Give me that ball. I'm stronger than you. It's mine. So I was going through and I did a lot of really detailed notes for a lot of people in this draft, and I was talking about. I mean, there you go. There's taking a shot over the middle, holding on to the ball, just getting right up. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, let's talk about this real quick. I want to talk about what he just did right there. This shows you that Kyle Pitts has two gears and he knows what the hell he's doing when he's running routes. Okay, so he kind of stutter steps here, like, hey, I'm gonna block this guy. No, I'm not. I'm gonna shuffle out to the right. You're gonna see it right here. He's gonna shuffle out to the right, come out of his route, do a little chop step here, gets this defender to bite, and then boom, see ya. I'm gone. You cannot cover me. That's amazing. Takes a shot, gets up, makes a play. I'd like to see how he got open on that one. That was too easy. Could you imagine Kyle Pitts in high school? God, that would just be ridiculous. He's a grown man. Look at him. He just towers over every single person on the field. I hate those Florida uniforms, by the way, for what it's worth. Great ball there. Great catch. So yeah, like I was saying, I have detailed notes on a lot of these people. What I literally have on my sheet right now for Kyle Pitts is just Lord have mercy. It feels like there's not really an uncatchable ball for him. So fun. Look at that. High pointing, grabbing that ball, snatching it out of the air. How do you cover him on a 7-yard slant? Look at that. Just torching him. Get off of me, child. Look at this. Are you kidding me? Look at him. Just, yeah, go home. Bye. Even their D-backs can't catch him. All right. I'm in love right now just watching these Kyle Pitts highlights. Yeah. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. He's so fun. He's so fun. He was so fun to watch as a Gator fan. I made a comment back in 2019 as we're watching, or I guess as we're like getting prepared for last year's draft. I was like, "Yo, Kyle Pitts, check him out. He's pretty good. He's gonna be like a big tight end." Not knowing that he would be a top, potentially a top 5 pick. But it's been fun watching him as a Gators fan for sure. Couple of comments to get to here as we roll along through the wide receivers. Imagine if Pitts came out 20 years ago. So he did, right? Antonio Gates. Antonio Gates, man. Or is it Kellen Winslow Jr.? I mean, Kyle Pitts might be the best tight end prospect in 20 years. Safe to say, right? But what I mean by that is like Antonio Gates, when he came into the league, completely changed how tight end position was played. Absolutely revolutionized it. You get more of that basketball style, going up and jumping up and grabbing those balls, and you're seeing a lot of what San Francisco is doing. Imagine if they just said, "Fuck it, we're taking him at 3." Smoke screen. You guys all thought we were taking a quarterback. We traded up to get Kyle Pitts. And they run Jimmy G out there with Kyle Pitts, Juszczyk, and George Kittle. How do you cover that? How? Good luck. Good luck. Just saying. Be fun. Be fun to watch. Be a fantasy football team. It'd be crazy. Comment from Todd. Megatron 2.0. I think a really good comp for, I think Megatron, the measurables are almost the same, right? His Pro Day measurables are pretty close to what Megatron did in the Combine. Another good one is DK Metcalf. Reminds me a lot of DK Metcalf. He's just big and fast and good hands. So somebody that's in the league now, obviously. Megatron, man. You never thought we were gonna get another one like him. And we might not, but Kyle Pitts could be the closest thing. All right, Bengals fans, get ready to. Now we're gonna start watching some tape on the 5th overall pick, Jamar Chase. He will be a Bengal on Thursday night if he's there. If he is available at 5, the Bengals will draft him. So just get ready for that. And that's a good thing, guys. That's a good thing, Bengals fans. I promise. It's a good thing. Jamar Chase is good. He's really good. He's really, really good. So be excited about that. All right. Let's watch a little Jamar Chase tape. So remember, Jamar Chase opted out. Let's watch it again. I want to see how does he. So they're already giving him a lot of cushion here. Oh shoot! Sorry, guys. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm talking about already on the first play. The route running, guys. Comes out, sells deep, chops right here, breaks down, gets the defender like on his heels. Literally, look at the defender sitting in his fucking. All right, this is against Georgia Southern. Let's just. All right, never mind. Why are you putting this in a highlight tape? It's Georgia Southern, guys. Whatever. It was still cool. It doesn't get any easier than that, though. Great ball by Burrow, the chosen one. All right, here's a team, Texas, finally. That's underthrown ball by Burrow. Comes back, and you got mossed. Which is actually kind of funny because his teammate is Thaddeus Moss, who's now on the Bengals, son of Randy Moss. So there's the speed. And that's against Vandy. That's an SEC defense, kind of. Oh, my God. Look how many LSU fans are at Vandy. That's insane. Wow. That's what you're getting right there, boys and girls. Chemistry. All right, so Jamar Chase is very physical, by the way. Let's be very clear about that. This guy is not going to back down from any aggression at the line. Sometimes too much. He's too physical at the line, and he gets into these like little fist fights almost, like these little like skirmishes at the line, and then he like is completely taken out of the play. It's obviously a coachable thing, something that's going to come along with age as well. The guy can't even legally buy a beer. So establishes that outside leverage, gets up there. A little bit of a hand check there at the end. Might get called for that, as you know AJ Green did week 1. But that's nothing. That's nothing. Neither was AJ's, though, for what it's worth, against the Chargers. We won that game. Burrow taking a shot on that one. Yeah. Here's another thing, guys. Joe Burrow's been taking shots since high school. Let's be very clear. LSU's line is not good. Look at this. Boom! Another high point. The jump ball thing is really what you're getting out of Jamar Chase, too. He's an athlete. He's a freak. Where's he at in this one? Looks like he's okay, came into the slot. Beautiful. All right, let's take a look at this. We might get some insights on his route running here. Back it up just a little bit more. There we go. All right, so there's Jamar Chase right here. All right, on the 1st and 10 marker. Playing him in man. Oh. All right, do we see that? Do we all see that little stutter step to the outside? All right. So you're just going to kind of play with him a little bit. And then he's going to stutter step, jab out, and then it's wide open on the inside. Obviously, these guys are rushing. Look, there's nothing here. So Burrow already knows. Like at the beginning of the snap, he knows, all right, I got man coverage here, here. This goes man coverage, man coverage, man coverage. I got 2 deep safeties right here. Burrow already knows Jamar Chase is running that inside slant right here. So, and look, there's no one here. Whether the safety going to come down? Not fast enough. Sorry. But safety comes down a little bit right there. Not fast enough. See ya. And then there's the speed. All right. I want to get to some like competitive games. There weren't many for LSU, to be fair. They kind of just blew everyone out of the water. That's a great route, a great catch, great ball by Burrow. Okay, so this is like one of the most famous Jamar Chase catches against Alabama. I want to go back and try and see if I can get any kind of angle on Jamar Chase for this one. It's kind of grainy, so I apologize. We went back to the Auburn one, my bad. Yeah, they're not going to show him. But in that route, basically, there's hand fighting the whole way down, and Jamar Chase establishes a point where he's got control. So he's going against Brian. If you're watching, this guy's on the Cowboys right now, by the way. Yeah, look at that! Look at that protection Joe Burrow had at LSU, guys. He had 3 Ole Miss defenders around him. I think he had like 150 yards in this game against Alabama. Look at this. Look at it. Look at this. Top-notch O-line. Beautiful. So you're getting a ton of chemistry with Jamar Chase, obviously with Joe Burrow. He's physical. Like I said, sometimes he's too physical, gets into trouble. Obviously, fantastic about getting in to great position mid-route, wins the jump ball, wins that contested catch. He's fine with going over the middle and taking shots, as he does right here. Doesn't take a shot, but goes over the middle. And that's another thing you're seeing right there. He has a really great ability of not going down on first contact. His yak. Yards after contact right there. See ya. And the Bengals didn't do a great job of that. They need a guy that can fight through contact like Jamar Chase. He's a great fit. I'm excited to get him on the team. Plan on getting a black Joe Burrow jersey. Plan on getting a white Jamar Chase jersey. Should be fun. No comments on Jamar Chase. Man, you guys tired of hearing about him? I love him. I'm excited. I'm also excited about this next guy, too. Talk about Rashad Bateman. We'll go ahead and get into him. Since nobody has anything to say on Jamar Chase. All right. So Rashad Bateman, like I said, I believe he opted out last year too, or this year too. So here we go. All right. Kind of running on here. So basically, one of the things that you're going to notice with watching this Rashad Bateman, again, he is probably, I would say, the 3rd best route runner in the entire. Let me get this out of the way here, guys. Sorry, in the entire draft. He's been a stud since he was a freshman at Minnesota. I think this is actually his freshman year. This is one of his first games, if I'm not mistaken. I think he had 2 or 3 touchdowns in that game. Anyway, great route runner. Might be as good as Devonta Smith. But one of the things that he does on his routes that is kind of a knock against him, he lines up very wide. I think that's him right there. All right, there he is. I know he was in the slot on this one. Let's pull it up. And you can see it from this route, what he does at the beginning of every single. All right, so there he is. Look at the stance of this wide receiver right here. And then look at the stance of Rashad Bateman. So you're noticing maybe a yard here, almost a yard and a half for Bateman on his stance. Now, he's a bigger guy, right? But even just the angle of his knee is much more bent. So what does that mean? It causes him to take a false step at the beginning of every route. Every single route, he winds up a little too wide, and he kind of takes a little false step. Just watch. See that? He just did it. We'll come back here and watch it. Takes a little false step. Right? He's going to kind of sink that back foot and not really even move anywhere while everyone else is firing off the line. Just watch. See that? Now he's good at, that was a great catch over some traffic there. And then he just turns on the burners and leaves them. So it's a coachable thing, though. It shouldn't be a huge knock on him. But when you're looking at like him or Jalen Waddle or Devonta Smith, I would put him above Devonta Smith, but just for his size, really, Devonta Smith's size really holds me back on him. But if you're looking at like Jamar Chase or Jalen Waddle, that catch is just bananas. That was insane. That's one of the things that's going to hold him back. Those guys are already a little bit technically more sound. But one of the things you are noticing with these bigger guys, they've already got a lot. And the reason he's in the top 5, he does have a really good job mid-route after the start. So there he is. Did it again right there over the middle. As you can see, mid-route, he does a great job of getting separation, getting open. We'll try and take a look and see what he's able to do here. And let's see if we can get that false step again. Let's see if he's taking it still on this play. All right, so there he is. That is ridiculous. Look at how wide his feet are, and look at everybody else. That's crazy. So he's gonna kind of take that dig in right here. Yep, just did it. Okay, and this linebacker doesn't even know what the fuck is going on. But great awareness of him to know where the gaps in the zone are. Gets right over the linebackers. Comes right in here. Linebacker, yeah. Play action must have got him on that one. Is there play action on that play? Linebackers' eyes are completely in the backfield. They're playing no awareness of who they're playing against, apparently, out of perdon't. Because there's no one even on him. The quarterback knows exactly where he's going. Looks like an RPO. Good ball. Good. Actually, what that is good ball tracking by Bateman. That was not the trajectory that he was on. Let's look at that. So, look, he's over the top right here, and he starts coming down this way. He needs that ball in the middle zone of the field. And watch where he ends up catching it. Nope. Out to the left. Good tracking. That's one thing that you want to see out of these guys is ball tracking ability. Underthrown ball, cuts back, turns it on. Nice job. So yeah, those are the top 5. Those are the top 5 prospects in terms of pass catching. All right. I'm going to grab a new beer. And we can get into the offensive linemen. We're going to be talking about Penei Sewell, Rashawn Slater. out of Northwestern. Penny Sewell out of Oregon. Rashawn Slater out of Northwestern. Christian Darisaw out of Virginia Tech. Samuel Cosme out of Texas. Dylan Radens out of North Dakota State. Liam Eichenberg, Notre Dame. And then Alex Leatherwood and Landon Dickerson out of Alabama. So we got tackle, 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 tackle center. So I will be right back, and we will talk tackles. Stay with us. Yo, what's up? We're back for part 2 of tonight's episode. A little bit longer one tonight. Already coming up on an hour here. But I wanted to really talk about two of the big position groups that I feel like both the Bengals and the Lions are really going to be focusing on in this draft, or addressing at least at some point within the first, I'd say, within the first 3 rounds. I think both of these teams are going to draft an offensive lineman and a wide receiver. So I think it was fair to kind of talk a little bit about it. John, Rick, thanks for liking the video. Welcome. Good to have you guys. If you haven't already, if you're joining us tonight, go ahead and like the video. Share the video if you could. That'd be great. Tonight we are having Starman Pale Ale. This is like one of the coolest cans I have seen. I'm watching that For All Mankind, that show on Apple TV or Apple Plus TV or whatever it's called. The one where like the Russians land on the moon first. So this is pretty cool. Like I said, I got that craft beer store pretty close to my house, and yeah, had to grab it in the Black Rocks Brewery, Marquette, Michigan, up in the UP. That's what we sipping on tonight. So yeah, if you missed the first half, it's all good. But we talked Jalen Waddle, Devonta Smith, Kyle Pitts, Jamar Chase, and Rashad Bateman. Some guys that I've identified as, I think those are going to be the top five off the first five off the board in terms of wide receivers or pass catchers. Kyle Pitts isn't a wide receiver, so Kadarius Toney, as Travis mentioned earlier in the stream, Travis that he could slip in before one of those guys. To be honest with you, but now it's time to talk about the big fellas. Talk about the hog mollies. We're going to be talking offensive linemen, very heavy saturated in the tackle department. I think I got 8 prospects here, and all but one of them are tackles. So, the first guy we're going to be talking about is Penny. Would I say that this is, and at the end of this, I'll tell you who I want the Bengals to take at 38 as well. How about that? I've already identified that they're going to, like, we are all in agreement. I think that they're going to take Jamar Chase at 5, but I'll tell you who I want at 38 when we're done with this, who I think is going to be available. This first guy is not going to be available at 38, and that's going to be Penei Sewell. So let's watch a little bit about Penei. All right. So obviously he's going to be left tackle every single play. Good rep there. Decent rep. Stonewall's the guy there. Good rollout. No real threat from the left side of there for Justin Herbert. Again, Penei Sewell opted out. Here he is right here. Just runs this guy around. Wouldn't say it was the best rep, but with a lot of these, here's the thing. When you're watching offensive linemen, you don't want to notice them. If you notice an offensive lineman, it's typically a bad thing. Sometimes you're going to get those plays where it's like, oh, shit. He just knocked that guy off on his butt. But typically, that was a good one. That was a great run block by Penei. Let's take a look here. Just completely drives the end. So he's going to, I believe he's got this guy, and he gets inside and drives him out. Let's take a look. Yep. Great run block. Opens a hole. Touchdown. There he is right here. 58. Completely drives the guy out. He is right here. Good run blocking. So some quick notes on Penei Sewell. I mean, the guy is strong. He's fast. He's got a good football IQ. And he's mean. He just likes to just fucking hit people. He loves hitting people. It's exactly what you want on your offensive line. You want guys that are just looking to clear the path, right? Penei is that. Great job there. So that I mean, it looks like an easy block, but it's not. And I'll tell you why. We'll take a quick look at it. All right, so what's going to happen is this guy's lining up in man coverage right here. You got 3 down linemen. This guy he's trying to show that he's lining up in man coverage. What he's actually going to end up doing is kind of stutter step and then blitzing. This is 4th and 9, by the way. I didn't even realize that first time around. So watch this. Then what's going to happen is this guy's going to crash hard inside, and he's going to blitz. Watch Penei's ability to recognize that, pass this block off to the inside, and pick this guy up and give Herbert a pocket. So here he comes. Didn't do so hot on the other side there. So let's get in a little bit more into these guys that we don't know a whole lot about. Quick, just checking the chat here. something yet. Let's talk a little bit about. Let's look at these. This is just going to be the Northwestern. Sorry, you're getting sandals ads there, but I've been checking out where I'm going on my honeymoon. This is just a Northwestern Pro Day in general, but here's Rashawn Slater. I'll pause it so you can look at his specs real quick. He's 6'4", 304 pounds, 33-inch arms. I believe those to be a little bit short. 33 reps on the bench, which I think is a 225 bench press. His 40 time is under 5, and that's amazing. That's so fast for a big guy. And his cone on sub 8 on a cone is really good too. So let's take a look. So here he is. The guy is huge, right? He's big and he's fast. Very much similar to Penei. It's almost like Penei Sewell is 1A and Rashawn Slater is 1B, right? Because there's a lot of similarities when you're watching these guys. I mean, Rashawn's got great technique. He's got great hands. And what do I mean by great hands? The offensive lineman's job is to control the defender, right? On run blocking, you need to push him in a certain way. On pass blocking, you need to keep him from going a certain way, right? What he does really well is he has almost, this is hilarious. Look at him. He's like, get out of here. What he does really well is establishing his hands on the inside of the defender or put different kinds of push-pull techniques to change the leverage of the defender as he's coming in to try and rush the quarterback. Rashawn Slater does a really good job at that. So his arms, like I said, they are a little bit short. So the thing about that is when his technique isn't flawless, he tends to have a little bit of gaps. And that's why why a lot of people, not just me obviously, but that's why a lot of people are putting Penei over Rashawn. Look at this 40. Look how quick this guy is. Whew. As LeBron James would say, sheesh. Here's his cone drill. Really good speed, really good athleticism. If by some grace of God he falls to 38, I'd be completely comfortable throwing him inside a guard for a year. So there's Greg Newsome. If you want to watch Greg Newsome highlights as well. Popping back to the chat here. Next guy we're going to talk about is going to be Christian Darrisaw. This is going to be he's going to tackle out of Virginia Tech. A lot of people have him as the 3rd ranked tackle. So what this is actually going to be is just Virginia Tech highlights against Boston College of last year. Darrisaw did not. He did not opt out. I'm not gonna do a lot of Christian Darrisaw tape real quick because it's kind of similar. It's very similar to Rashawn Slater, but even more boring. Super strong. I'd say he's really good at getting his positioning. He's not nearly as mobile as your Rashawn Slater or your Penei. He's not nearly as quick as those guys. But pass protection is his expertise. He's very, very good at pass protection. So we'll watch just a very brief bit of film on Christian Darrisaw out of Virginia Tech. Just very, very brief here. Whoops, didn't mean to fast forward all the way through the game film. Left tackle. Right there, number 74. So run block, he gets pushed back in there a little bit. Right here. Pass protection, much better. Obviously, quarterback had to run, but that's not on him. Some run blocking. Good job there. That was really good. That was really good rep. Here he is. Seals that edge. Perfect. Let's see some pass protection reps from Christian Darrisaw here. So that looks like a man blocking scheme at Virginia Tech. And the reason I know that, let's go back. All right, so look. What do they do here? What do the defensive linemen do? So we're gonna try and figure out what's going on here, because here's Christian Darrisaw lined up on the outside here at left tackle. This guard almost pulls. I don't know if they're faking a jet sweep. I wasn't really paying attention to the backfield. I'm just watching these guys. But the guard ends up on the outside of the play, so I want to watch. So they don't fake anything. That's really odd. Huh. It's an interesting little stunt there. Did he just end up on his ass right there? I don't know. We're going to have to watch that. Here's Darrisaw. Oh, he just went in and fucking chop blocked him. What a dick. So there have been some reports that basically the only knock on Darrisaw is that he's started since his freshman year at Virginia Tech. So he's been very, very good for a long time. He started at left tackle as well. And the knock on him has basically been like he's good and he knows he's good, and so the work doesn't really get put in that much. That's the knock on him. And he's not that fast. So. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm just going to give you one more. I'm going to give you one more. I can't keep rolling. I got really ambitious. I was like, I'm going to roll through all these prospects, but I don't think it's going to happen tonight. But I am going to talk to you about who I want the Bengals to take at 38. And that is going to be none other than Mr. Sam Cosmi out of Texas. So let's watch a little Sam Cosmi tape. 6'7", 309 pounds. It's a big man. Left tackle. Got a lot of weight on him. So Sam might be the best run blocker that's not Penei Sewell in this draft. He really might be. So this is a video doing some great film breakdown for us, just kind of stopping and showing his leverage. Look at that. Look at his feet moving. Yeah, look. I mean, this guy must be thinking the same. Feet moving the whole time, just driving that guy out. Look at him. Keeps going. Keeps going. Pancakes, anyone? Left tackle again. Wow, look at that. I mean, look, yeah. Let's look at this. It's 2nd and 7. He drives him like 7 yards off the ball. Look at this. Now, yeah, you don't have a chance, buddy. Looks like 80 missed his block there. Up on the left here, number 52. Great block. Looks like that linebackers or that corner is going to blitz. Yep. He picks it up right away. That's fantastic. So why do I want this guy at 38? He is a little bit in terms of his height, I guess. I mean, he's 6'7", 310. I'd say a little bit smaller, but he's still pretty tall. He's got a great run blocking IQ, as you can see illustrated in this play, picking up that blitz last minute there to seal that. Look, they got him right here on the edge. Again, his run blocking. That's why I want him. The Bengals run game has been pretty, I'd say, non-existent over the last couple of years. We just invested in Joe Mixon for a long-term deal. I think we got 3 more years on the deal, if I'm not mistaken, maybe even 4. And it's time that we emphasize that. The better the run game that the Bengals are going to have, the more it helps the passing game. Obviously, passing game is important, but I want somebody that's going to just be able to clear holes for Joe Mixon. I think Sam Cosmi can come in and start right away. Here's some pass pro reps. A little bit open on his hips. Watch his hips. He kind of opens up pretty early here. So we'll pause the video because I'm not sure when this other film guy is going to pause the video. All right. I guess it's kind of equal. I guess what is he? 5 yards back, opening up your hips. That's not that big of a deal. Never mind. And this guy's open up too. They got a nice pocket here. Let's play it out. Great rep. Good win. Watch just a couple more. So to be clear, I would slide Sam in as a guard for at least the first year. You've got Riley Reif at right tackle. You've got Jonah Williams at left tackle. So you're good there. What this does gives you another year of putting this guy, getting him some immediate. He's immediately going to improve your guard play, right? So put him in there. Let him learn the NFL game a little bit more, and then slide him on out to left tackle. Or excuse me. Slide him out to right tackle. Comment from Todd here. I'd be happy with Eichenberg or Cosmi for the Bengals. I think Cosmi fits better in the athleticism they're trying to create up front more than Eichenberg. So I can kind of read my notes. I'm not going to go into the film tonight, but I will. I did look at Liam Eichenberg, obviously, as I stated earlier in the show. I can kind of tell you a little bit about him. Solid pass protection skills and pretty solid athletic measurables. They measured his cone, his 40, his bench press, his vertical was not that great, but his broad jump was pretty good. His athletic measurables are pretty top tier, actually. I think they're in the top 90% overall of any left tackle ever, which is good. I mean, albeit there's 12,000 left tackles that I've ever played or something ridiculous like that, or 1,200 or something. I don't know. Anyway, but he's consistent. Liam Eichenberg is nothing. Again, the best thing that you could best compliment you could give an offensive lineman is that you didn't notice their play, because it means they didn't fuck up. But yeah, Eichenberg is pretty good. There's 3 guys that I would say that you can eye for the Bengals at 38. It's going to be Liam Eichenberg, Sam Cosmi, and then Alex Leatherwood out of Alabama. Another guy that I looked at. Good hands in the trenches. His feet do get a little slow at times. And another thing is that he does open up way too early. So what I mean by open up, so your hips are square. Let's see if we can do this here, guys. Nope. Never mind. I'm just going to try and draw for you a little bit. Anyway. So your hips are square to the line, right? And when you're coming off the line, if you're backing back and backing up, if you rotate your hips to get this pass rusher that's coming in, if you're opening up your hips like that, he does that way too early within his snap, basically is what happens. When you're opening up like that, it's not allowing you to stay square. It's not allowing you to keep that pocket. It can allow the defender to work back inside on you pretty quickly. So Alex, that's a knock on Leatherwood. However, he is huge, and he's big, and he's strong, and that technique can be taught. So Measurables are big, guys. They're real. They are a real thing. If you're fast, you're big, and you're strong, we can teach you. Now, there is something to be said about having a blank canvas versus like having the guy that just already does those things. And then how do I even make him even better? Oh, we'll just make him bigger and we'll make him faster and make him stronger and we'll get him even more refined in his technique. Couple other notes here. Dylan Radins out. What a cool last name, by the way, Radins. Out of if I'm even saying that right, out of North Dakota State. He's big. He's fast. He can pass and run block pretty well. I am concerned, however, the fact that he played North Dakota State. I'm concerned about that because it's not like he's getting top tier pass rushers in Division II football. They're playing like Butler. And yeah, I know. Butler has a football team. One of my friends coaches there. Matt, shout out, buddy. But yeah, they're not playing Auburn. They're not playing Georgia. They're not playing USC. They're not playing Ohio State. They're not playing these guys where like top tier pass rushers are coming out. Albeit there could be 2 first rounders from North Dakota State this year. With Trey Lance and Dylan Radins, but I'm just a little concerned about that. Now you look at his Senior Bowl reps and they look really good. And there he is going against like people from Pitt and Miami and big schools. He looks good there. Another guy that did some watching, Landon Dickerson. Some notes I got on him: smart eyes, and he can switch off pass off blocks well. So meaning when you're doing like a double team block on one guy and then the one guy moves up to get the linebacker in the next level, he does a really good job of reading where that linebacker is. Say that linebacker's coming to the inside, well then you need to pass that block off to me, guard, and then you take that block. Whereas, all right, we're double teaming this defensive end, and the linebacker rushes to the outside. All right, I'm going to pass him off to you, and then I'm going to take that outside block. He does that very, very cleanly. He's very smart. He's just a great football IQ. Problem, very injury prone. I think he's been injured. He's injured his knee, I think, at least twice. And that concerns me, being an offensive lineman, especially on the inside. So those are our notes. I think Jamar Chase at 5 is pretty much a lock for the Bengals. Lions, I hope it's Jalen Waddle. It'd be fun to see him out there, but I'm not sure who you guys are taking, man. I have no idea who you're taking at 7. Browns, no idea at 26. I mean, you can just best defensive player available. That's what my guess would be. Yeah, no idea where it's going to be fun. If you're looking for something to do on draft night, you want to have us on in the background, please do. I'll be drinking a couple of beers and watching the draft picks. So at 38, I would like to see the Bengals take Sam Cosmi out of Texas. I think what he could add to the run blocking game for the Bengals is huge. Could be great for this offense. And that's what you want in today's NFL. You want an offense that can score 30 points. Look at all 4 of the teams that were in the conference championship games. They all scored 30 points a game. So that's where the NFL's at today. Build your offense, make them score 30 points, and then worry about the defense later. So, all right, guys. Well, I appreciate you joining us. I hope you had fun. Sorry it was a little bit longer show. If you're not a football nerd, this probably wasn't the show for you, but I had a good time, so I appreciate you sticking with me. But we'll see you next week, or we'll see you Thursday for the draft, 4 days away. Have a good night. Appreciate you.